Hey there, everybody. Hello to you. While the world has watched thousands struggling with COVID-19, the need for organ donors has not diminished. One woman who knows that is waiting on a living gift of life.
I don't need someone to lose their life. I just need someone who will donate me a portion of their liver.
Sherry Patterson is now on home hospice. Without these IV nutrients and hydration, her body and her liver will continue to break down.
We don't want to get to the point where I'm too sick to have that surgery.
That surgery needed a living liver transplant. Doctors take a portion of a donor's liver.
We take about 60%, 65% of a donor's liver, and so they're left with 35. But that 35% will grow and double to about 70% in a span of about 6 weeks.
Sherry's family has been slowly seeing her health deteriorate this past pandemic year. For a while, transplant care that was not an emergency was even put on hold.
It made everything worse. When she first got diagnosed was January of 2020. By the next month after her diagnosis, she couldn't go back into the hospital.
Since then, Sherry's family has done everything possible to protect her from the virus at home, something they admit has not been easy.
She's a social butterfly, so keeping her from being social, so you had to double mask her or keep her from people.
Sherry's now on a donor waiting list at several hospitals. All she needs now is a donor who is healthy, willing, and has type O blood, positive or negative.
Their life and their function is actually normal after donating. It's just you have a scar.
Dr. Shimel Shah of Ohio's University of Cincinnati transplant program says living donation does lend to fewer complications compared to a liver from a deceased donor. Sherry, who has a hereditary liver disease, just hoping she can hang on long enough to find one.
My kids and my grandkids and my husband and my brother-in-law, my immediate family. That's what keeps me going.
She says she has never been more grateful for that support. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonis. Now back to you.
I was in hospice care at home, so we were really just waiting for the end.
Just a few months ago, we introduced you to Sherry Patterson. At the time, her Sherry Needs a Liver Facebook page said it all. Sherry was literally dying while waiting for a liver donor. At the time, I reached out to Dr. Shimel Shah. He's the director of the transplant program at Ohio's University of Cincinnati. His team transplants both deceased and living liver donors.
We take about 60%, 65% of a donor's liver, and so they're left with 35. But that 35% will grow and double to about 70% in a span of about 6 weeks.
When our story aired, Sherry and Dr. Shah had never met.
So I called her up and I said, hey, I'm so-and-so. We were on this TV segment with Liz Bonis together.
And because of that, Sherry told me she transferred her care to Dr. Shah's team. And from her hospital bed this week on FaceTime, she told us,
Friday night, Dr. Shaw called me with a liver offer. And I came up here at UC about 8 o'clock at night, and I was receiving my transplant about 3 a.m.
I think she was on the list for 3 days.
For Sherry and her husband Lee,
it is a miracle, and my body functions everything's working on its own now.
This team is absolutely amazing. From the beginning, when we first came in, to all the way up into her transplant, and then after. Oh, wow.
Part of the reason Dr. Shah's team has been so successful in these pandemic times is that they carefully screen any available organ.
We're even transplanting COVID-positive livers now.
If the organ is appropriate, they transplant it. I know your donor, of course, is protected and anonymous, but if you could say something to that person now or to their family, what would you say?
It feels like such a gift. It's hard to describe the feeling. I'm very, very grateful.
I'm Medical Reporter Liz Bonis reporting.